From 1910 to 1920, a notable event called the Great Migration occurred, during which a large number of African Americans moved from the southern states to major cities in the north. The mass migration occurred due to racial violence and economic discrimination faced by black individuals in the southern region. By 1929, around 40% of African Americans lived in cities. Nevertheless, the arrival of African Americans in northern cities caused heightened racial tensions and led to the occurrence of race riots. The NAACP played a vital role in fighting violence against African Americans. The NAACP, under the guidance of Webb Du Bois, arranged nonviolent demonstrations to oppose racial violence and strived to secure legal safeguards for African Americans. A primary goal they had was to advocate for the passage of anti-lynching laws in Congress. This effort was spearheaded by James Weldon Johnson, who was both a poet and a lawyer. Although there were no laws passed in the 1920s, the occurrence of lynchings gradually declined during that period. During this period, Marcus Garvey became a well-known figure who promoted black pride and self-determination. Garvey held the belief that African Americans ought to construct a distinct community and founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association, UNIA, which was a black nationalist organization. Garvey advocated for the advancement of businesses owned by black individuals and encouraged African Americans to contemplate the idea of returning to Africa in order to establish a self-governing nation. The African American community found his message meaningful as it emphasized the significance of relying on oneself and gaining empowerment. During the 1920s, a significant amount of African Americans, along with people from the West Indies, Cuba, Puerto Rico, and Haiti, relocated to Harlem, which is a district in New York City. Consequently, Harlem grew to become the largest black urban community in the world and played a significant role in giving rise to the Harlem Renaissance. This artistic and cultural movement was a celebration of African American culture and had a profound influence on literature and the arts. The Harlem Renaissance was mainly a literary movement led by educated African Americans from the middle class. They had a strong sense of pride in their African heritage and folklore. They examined the difficulties of being black in a society that is mostly white by means of their written works. Alain Locke, in 1925, published a significant compilation of writings by Harlem Renaissance authors called The New Negro. The Harlem Renaissance gave rise to many exceptional poets. One example is Claude McKay, who wrote about the suffering caused by prejudice and urged African Americans to stand against discrimination. Langston Hughes, a highly esteemed poet of the movement, dedicated himself to depicting the everyday experiences and challenges faced by black individuals in the working class. As a result, he gained worldwide acclaim for his literary contributions. In contrast, Zora Neale Hurston gathered folklore from impoverished and less educated African Americans in the southern region, and she honored their artistic expressions. She authored novels, short stories, folklore books, and poems. Music and drama were also important during the Harlem Renaissance. Paul Robeson became a well-known actor, gaining prominence for his performances in various dramatic roles, including a notable portrayal of Othello in Shakespeare's play. He encountered racism in the United States and resided in England and the Soviet Union. During this period, jazz, a musical genre that combined instrumental ragtime and vocal blues, became increasingly popular. Musicians hailing from New Orleans, the esteemed birthplace of jazz, ventured to northern cities and carried along this remarkable genre. Louis Armstrong was a highly skilled trumpet player, renowned for his exceptional sense of rhythm and improvisational abilities. He emerged as a pivotal figure in the history of jazz. Harlem became a favored place for white individuals who gathered there to appreciate jazz music. Edward Kennedy, Duke Ellington, a highly skilled jazz pianist and celebrated composer, served as the leader of an orchestra at the prestigious Cotton Club in New York. Bessie Smith, who is widely recognized as one of the best blues singers of her time, experienced significant accomplishments and became the highest-earning black artist globally in 1927. The Harlem Renaissance encouraged African Americans to feel proud of their cultural contributions and was an important part of the social and cultural changes happening in America at that time.